how's it going? I hope you're doing great. What am I doing on the floor? Let me take a sip and I'll fill you in. So today's a bittersweet day for me as I donate the majority of my craft supplies. The craft supplies, they're overtaking my life. And if you're a craft supply addict like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You buy and you buy and you buy, not because you necessarily need it, but you feel that you're gonna need it. So you might as well just buy it. And if it's on sale, forget it. When you're a crafty person, it can get troublesome. But I've decided to donate a good portion of my craft supplies to my son's old elementary school. And I'm a little emotional because just like in my decluttering journey of my room, I've had to really sort of be real and be harsh about what I need and what I don't need and what I could let go of. And it's difficult. To the average person, this really doesn't feel like a big deal, but it's a big deal to me. Honestly, like I feel like these aren't just craft supplies. And they aren't. Like for me, they're not. All of this stuff, these crafts, all of these things, they're more than just crafts to me. They represent a chapter in my life where my creativity, my hustle, my resilience, my savvy, my survival all came together. I've always been a creative person, even as a little girl. But when the pandemic hit, my craft supply purchases skyrocketed. I started a handmade business. What are you going to do? I needed stuff. So I lived at the dollar store. I lived at Michael's. I lived at Walmart. I lived at all of these places, and I would purchase whatever I could to start the business, you know. And to be honest, in the beginning, it gave me so much joy, right? I'm doing something that I'm good at. I'm doing something that I love. Being creative during that time, it gave me a sense of purpose because, you know, we were locked down. We couldn't go anywhere. It even supplemented my income during a time when things were like super, super uncertain. But here's the thing. Over time, I realized that creating and selling articles that I was producing with my own hands became less about joy and more about survival. It became about lack. It became about desperation in a sense. None of us were working and we still had bills to pay, right? So it put me in a mental state of fight or flight, and it was stressful. And when I found myself in that space, in that mindset, I let the crafter girl aspect of me overtake me, and it started to define me in ways that I didn't expect. But looking back, I could appreciate that season. It kept me afloat. I learned a slew of new skills. It proved to me that I could create something out of nothing, both literally and figuratively. But now I find myself in a different place, emotionally, financially, mentally, and I'm finally ready to let go of the tools that have helped me way back when. I feel more grounded, and I feel like my needs are being met in ways that they weren't before. And that's why today I'm choosing to let go. But letting go of my supplies doesn't mean that I'm letting go of my creativity. Girl, I'm gonna be DIY until I die. It's what I am. It's what I do. It just means that this particular chapter is done. My tools, my supplies served me well. And I'm grateful that I learned how to do hard things when it mattered the most. I'm proud of that. I'm still a maker. I'm still a creative soul at the core. But now these lovely craft supplies are going to benefit a whole bunch of little ones. My son's old school will use these supplies and inspire little hands and little minds to get creative. And I love that thought. I wanted to share this with you today because maybe there's something in your life that used to define you. Perhaps a job, a hobby, a relationship, or an identity that you've outgrown. And maybe you're scared to let go because it feels like you're losing a part of yourself. But here's what I'm learning. We're not trees. We can move. We can evolve. We can shift into new seasons. What used to serve us doesn't need to stay with us. Letting go doesn't erase who you are. It creates space for who you're becoming. And honestly, that's the beauty of growth. It's messy. It can be painful too. But it's necessary. And it's very freeing. So today, I'm donating my supplies. And I do so with gratitude. Gratitude for the way they carried me. Gratitude for the lessons that I've learned. Gratitude that they can spark joy and creativity in someone new. And for you, if you're holding on to something that no longer serves you, know that it's okay to release it. Just let that shit go. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to step into the next version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, we're more than the things that we cling to. We're more than the identities that we once were. We're always becoming. Anyway, that's all I have for you today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to bring these to my son's school. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. And shout out to all of my subscribers, my new ones, my day ones, and everyone in between. I really appreciate you guys. My channel is continuing to grow, and I'm grateful for this community. All right. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Woo. Again, with the fan. Sylvie is signing off. I wish you guys a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, so I'm just outside of my son's old elementary school. I just dropped off the craft supplies with the front office. They were so happy to receive these supplies. I couldn't show you, it's private property, you know, all of that kind of stuff, but I dropped it off. They loved it. They can't wait to add it to their inventory. And I gave them a lot of stuff that they don't even have. So anyways, win-win. I, got rid of my supplies. I lightened up my mental load, and now someone else is going to be able to benefit from this donation. So yeah, feeling good.